Kia ora koutou katoa. Good afternoon. Today I am here with our Minister of Defence, Penny Henare, announcing that New Zealand will be making a significant contribution to the global effort to support Ukraine against Russia's invasion. The needs of Ukraine remain broad, urgent and are changing rapidly. The global response to this violent breach of international law will not stop until Russia stops. And as such, countries around the world have pledged an unprecedented amount of military support, particularly with the emerging evidence of war crimes and the mounting civilian death toll. The enormous quantities of military support that countries are contributing has made distribution difficult, and there is now a growing need for transportation, logistical support, and people power to deliver to Ukraine's military and citizens what is so urgently needed. This is a problem that needs to be resolved quickly, and New Zealand has been asked to respond alongside our partners. Today I'm announcing that New Zealand will deploy to Europe a New Zealand Defence Force C130 Hercules aircraft supported by a team of 50 Defence Force personnel to assist with the transportation and distribution of donated military aid to Ukraine. An international donor coordination centre has been set up in Germany to coordinate the flow of military aid to Ukraine. Over the next 2 months, our C-130 will join a chain of military aircraft from partner nations, travelling throughout Europe carrying much-needed equipment and supplies to key distribution centres. But at no point will they enter Ukraine, nor have they been asked to. The C-130 will depart for Europe on Wednesday. Additionally, the New Zealand Defence Force will deploy an 8-person team of logistics specialists based in Germany and travelling around Europe to help coordinate the flow of aid and supplies to Ukraine. They will work alongside close partners across Europe for the next 3 months to keep these essential items moving through the military logistics networks. This deployment is in addition to the 9 intelligence personnel who are already in the United Kingdom and Belgium, supporting our partners in intelligence and engagement work. Further to this deployment, Cabinet has decided today that New Zealand will contribute an extra $13 million towards military, legal and human rights support, including $7.5 million to contribute to weapons and ammunition procurement via the United Kingdom. This will allow the UK as a trusted partner to procure the right weapons and ammunition for the armed forces of Ukraine. It ensures they have what they need when they need it, given the constantly shifting nature of this war. It also directly responds to a request from Ukraine for us to coordinate our support with the United Kingdom. $4.1 million to support commercial satellite access for the Ukrainian Defence Intelligence. This will provide near real-time updates to Ukrainian officials to help them understand and respond to Russia's actions on the battlefield. $1 million to the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights to support the ongoing monitoring of and accountability for human rights violations being perpetrated by Russia. $500,000 for the International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court to support the case against Russia in relation to the situation in Ukraine. This is in addition to the $315,000 we committed last month, and sits alongside our call as one of 41 states that a case be heard by the International Criminal Court. This contribution is not one the government has taken lightly. Each contribution we have made to date has been based on the question, in a war that New Zealand stands so strongly against, what is the most meaningful contribution we can make? While today's announcement includes procurement that will directly support the Ukraine Army, so too did our existing contribution of intelligence analysts and protective equipment for the Army. Our aid in all its forms is to assist the Ukraine Army to repel a brutal Russian invasion. Peace in the region of Europe is essential for global stability. New Zealand is not immune to its impacts, so we do need to make sure we play our role in its resolution. Ultimately, New Zealand will keep looking at the ways we can make the greatest difference, which is in the skills we can send, the logistics we can provide, and intelligence. Our support to date has been comprehensive and covers every aspect of this conflict: humanitarian, legal, military, transportation, and people. and is in addition to the economic and trade sanctions we put in place to help grind the Russian economy to a halt as a way to end this war. We will continue to answer the calls of Ukraine with regular reviews of how we can keep making the greatest difference from here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'll now hand over to Minister Henare, and of course the Chief of Defence is also here to answer questions you may have. Minister Henare.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you, Prime Minister. Today's announcements are a substantial contribution to the efforts of the international community in responding to Russia's unprovoked, illegal and unjustified invasion of Ukraine. The decision to deploy a C130 Hercules aircraft with a dedicated team of 50 personnel, as well as 8 logistics specialists, is a very significant one. These deployments will provide a real contribution to Ukraine's defence and are complementary to the efforts of our international partners. The Hercules will be based in Europe and will transport donated military aid destined for Ukraine via third country locations in Europe. Our people will be working alongside the armed forces of other countries. This deployment is in addition to the already pledged support announced over the past few weeks. Just to recap, so far, we have authorised the deployment of 9 NZDF personnel to Europe to support our partners in intelligence work over the next 3 months, provided surplus tactical NZDF equipment, contributed $5 million to the NATO Trust Fund, which provides fuel, military rations, communications and military first aid kits to support Ukraine. We are actively listening to Ukraine and our partners about how we can best support the people of Ukraine. As the Prime Minister has already outlined, New Zealand has moved at pace to provide significant support as the situation continues to evolve. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you, Minister Henare. We're now happy to take questions.